I don't know what to play. Hello everyone, I just wanted to start off this video by kind of explaining the hidden gem show that you are about to watch. This is a show where I try to promote some of the titles that I feel like weren't very popular or weren't appreciated enough when they released. The days that I upload this show will be a bit sporadic, but bear with me. Without further ado, the first title I'd like to talk to you about is a little gem known as This War of Mine. A lot of modern war titles normally allow you to play as the soldier that has some crazy power to be a massive killing machine. This War of Mine is nothing like that. This War of Mine is a survival-based strategy game where you control a group of civilian survivors in a broken down shelter in a war-torn city of, this. Throughout the game, you are to try to survive the war by gathering during the night with the characters you control. Most of the civilians that you have in your care have absolutely no military background or survival experience whatsoever. For example, for your first playthrough, you start off with a cook, a football player, and a news reporter. Doesn't that sound like a thrilling chance of survival? You'll need to put a lot of effort to ensure that these characters survive. They need food, a bed to sleep in, and if you want them to perform as humans, normally a book, coffee, or some smokes. The game ends when the military declares a ceasefire, which normally occurs after a randomized amount of time, which is actually a pretty awesome aspect of the game in my opinion, that it ends at some random time. Just to explain a bit more of the gameplay, the game has a day and night cycle. During the daytime, snipers prevent the survivors from venturing outside, so you're trapped inside to craft things that you've gathered during the night. You could also upgrade your shelter, cook, sleep, or bandage up. You could also build a radio, which is pretty cool, that allows you to find out some of the extra information about what's going on in the world, such as updates about the economy, news about the war, or even weather warnings. During the nighttime, you are able to venture out and go scavenge from nearby areas to look for resources for your group. While scavenging, you could run into other NPCs that are going through the same tragedy you are. You could either choose to help them out by giving them gifts, food, or medicine, or you could be a dickhead and kill them and steal the rest of their belongings. The best part is, it's up to you. Although, if you do choose to kill the civilians, your characters will start to get depressed and question their actions. And all your characters seem to have this actual personality, even though the interaction between them is pretty minimal. After your first playthrough, you can start with random characters that all have different traits and stories as well as their own endings, and if you don't like them, you can download more on the Steam Workshop. Some of the traits that you can get can range from being a good cook that allows you to use less fuel and water when cooking, to fast runner that, runs faster while scavenging. There's a total of 12 playable characters, and there's even a DLC called Little Ones that gives you the possibility of adding an extra child survivor that could defend himself or herself, to perform any tasks to maintain shelter. Also, all the children need consistent attention to prevent them from being depressed. Talk about being spoiled though. Later in that playthrough, you can teach the child to perform small chores like cooking or growing crops, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. The added challenge of the semi-useless mouth to feed is just as stressful as real life. All in all, this War of Mine is a pretty fun game. It's kinda short, although replayable. It could screw with your mind, which is kinda weird. You might have to push yourself through the first couple of slow days, but once you get into it, you get really into it. Shoutouts to 11-Bit Studios for doing an amazing job on this game. I'm pretty sure you accurately depicted a group of civilians trying to survive in a war-torn city, which sounds really hard to do, so good job. I hope you really enjoyed the show, and I would love to see you on the next following video. Not really sure about the release date of the next videos, like I said earlier, so I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, show yourselves the doors.